Anzac Day is underway. Away we go at the MCG. Knocked down by Jolly, who butters up again. Lonigan has had his problems this week. Not at the tribunal, but on the social networking.
Thanks.
We've got a ball up, still inside the centre circles.
Just looking in Essendon's forward half. Harry O'Brien running free at the moment. They won't want to that to continue for too much longer.
Bill Chambers beaten by Jolly. Pendlebury did well. Slipped it away. Johnson. Opportunity now for the hand pass from Swan to find the teammate. He came again. Sinclair initially couldn't grasp it. Missed it again. Out of the congestion. Heppel goes down towards half forward. One man back, and that's Keefe of Collingwood.
They've got some loosies, haven't they, across that back? As Tom mentioned, O'Brien, the obvious one. Side bottom. A little bit sloppy. Now here's Brown. He'll get a big roar. Well, it was a tough first touch. He was set up a bit, and great tackle by Milksham. It spills Collingwood's way. Side bottom. Watson did very well. It was a great tackle. He kept him down low. Jedders kick forward. Ryder taps it. Well done. Monfries. And that bouncing ball.
Wow.
Well, there was a bouncing ball 2 years ago in a grand final down that end with Collingwood, wasn't it? With the Saints going forward.
The spread out of congestion is going to be so important, because the thing with you, if you're a little bit down on energy, the defensive run is the first thing that goes. You can always run to get the footy. So the first hands on it is going to be so critical today.
Johnson to himself and kicks it out towards half back. Bit of a fumble from Bill Chambers. Hack towards the line, out it goes. You were right, Bruce, about Brown getting a big roar. It was ball.
Had to play the football, play the whistle there. Jolly just complained for the free kick. Just stay at it.
Jolly and Bill Chambers lock up again. Over the top, Bill Chambers that time. Hocking going nowhere. Just hands it across to Bill Chambers. Wellingham marks the kick, though. Wasn't 15. Pendlebury a bit slow. Wellingham surrounded by bombers. This guy was brilliant last Saturday. Closed down that time by Maxwell. Davies fumbled. Well, it was smashed away from him more particularly. Comes inside the 50. Falling to the ground. Pendlebury did well. Goldsack was in there as well. Now a chance for Monfries. Carlisle, Watson. They find some space. Ryder out of bounds on the full. It was tough work in there.
Over here, still. Over here.
Essendon, well, that tackle from Collingwood. Essendon catching Collingwood in the tackle a few times early, though. And that ball close to the line by side bottom. A good kick. So Johnson plays his 10th Anzac Day match today. Only 3 Bombers have played more than 10. So he now has played as many as any Collingwood player. That's a mark not paid. Kick off the ground by Pendlebury. Good strong work by Dawes, but also pairs his opponent. Hibbert gets back. Hooker. Well done, Hooker, but only as far as Blair. Blair was neat. Did it well. Collingwood with a chance. Beams has got a loose man, and he delivers to side bottom. He's been everywhere early. Back, centre and forward.
Well, that's that spread that we spoke about a fair bit in the break, and as Mick Malthouse said, knows his players really well at Collingwood, or his ex-players really well at Collingwood, and side bottom is one of those guys that can get into space.
Does Bill Chambers have enough of it on the wing?
Well, I originally thought he did, yeah.
Like he came down with it, didn't he?
So side bottom has been kicking goals again this year, and goes at almost a goal a match. He's kicked 4 goals this season. A couple of braces he's had, and he's pushing that back. It held the line late. It's a goal, the first on Anzac Day. Well, he gave away the goal a bit, but back it came. He's been talked about in the pre-match, hasn't he, side bottom, how important he might be.
Terrific young player, and as we said, talking with Michael Malthouse, just stepped into league football as though he'd played 100 games. Quite remarkable.
Really important for Collingwood. They've gone in just the once and got the goal, so an important confidence booster for them. The other end, Essendon inside 3 times, not quite being able to penetrate the goals.
Umpire Dong on the bounce, hooked down by Bill Chambers, spills wide. Clever, quick thinking by Swan. Hacked it out of midair. It bounces down towards the attacking 50. Heppel goes back. Did pretty well the first time. Dawes bodied him off the ball, though. Nicely done. The hand pass over the top from Fasolo. Across half back. The Bombers have got the numbers. Bill Chambers Short of the wing, not short of Swan though, sends it back inside the 50. Over the top was Jolly. Hand pass comes across to side bottom from Clark, but it's a throw.
It's always interesting when you see centre bounces who's setting up what. At the moment, I think Essendon are happy to have Heppel loose at their end because I think they're the one who actually look like they've got more defenders, so they're setting up that spare back.
I found it really interesting what Michael Malthouse said about Heppel too. Yeah. As good as he is that he might be a touch slow and that Collingwood might try and work him wide and get him into some open spaces. Gee, that's a long bomb by Fletcher. That's a great kick, isn't it? It's a penetrating kick. Dyson gets it from Bell Chambers. Jetta's in a one-on-one. Tuvey read it pretty well. Jetta will swoop, we know that. Keefe just taps it forward. Cranberry ridden down by Brown. Gee, strong Cranberry. It was a good handball. Jetta couldn't get the kick away. Good tackling, hack forward. Maxwell to just mop it up or run it over the line.
Good intensity by the Pies early. That was some great defensive pressure there. We saw a good look at Essendon's game style. Kick the ball long.
Kevin Sheedy, who coached Essendon the first 13 occasions they played on this great day, will join us at half-time.
An outsider looking in. It's strange to think, isn't it?
After Giants training today.
Must not be. Got the PM's Cup on Saturday against the Western Bulldogs.
Johnson outside the defensive 50. Bell Chambers has started well. Plucked it out of mid-air. Centering kick beautifully done. Hallett just on the ground. Steps to 50. Unloads. Misses to the left. End-to-end stuff to start this one.
Got to take your chances. That's really the bottom line of the game. Essendon have taken their one. Collingwood took their one chance, but Essendon just a bit sloppy in terms of getting that final effective, accurate shot at goal.
Just for those who are wondering, this is the first game in round 5. As Maxwell takes off, could be either on a Wednesday. It goes towards the wing. Hibbert comes across on the angle, gathers. Lead comes from Heppel, goes in that direction. Heppel marks it. He's about 75 metres out.
Now, centering kick, a good one too, to about 25 metres. The ball hugged the line a bit more than I thought. Carlisle was a target.
Good to see Nathan Brown back 3-on-1 on that contest. Darren Jolly was also pushing defensively hard for Collingwood. There will be an option for either Ryder or Bell Chambers to square one up at the 45 mark.
It's been good, Bell Chambers. Just want to tap. Jolly's second effort okay. Just from Essendon's point of view, 3 behind. Believe it or not,
Thanks,
they actually haven't kicked a goal in the first quarter of the last 2 Anzac Day matches. They've been goalless in both 2010 and 2011. And the irony is that Buckley this week talked about Collingwood being inaccurate in first terms, and today it's the opponent for the moment. Brown, that was good. To Johnson, that was, well, it was dangerous and well done, Jetta, cutting across.
They haven't been able to get the score on the board, Essendon, with the goal, but they're just locking it in that part of the ground. Their forward pressure, and Jetta leads them, I think, in that forward pressure area.
Just get the feeling the rain could be coming back. Brilliant by Bell Chambers. Falling to the ground, Watson. Monfries snaps goal.
Great goal there by Monfries. The play I'd be getting around was Leroy Jetta.
Yeah.
Collingwood had the release out on that side and just made the ground on Tuvey to keep the ball in lane. They have been, the energy certainly up inside Essendon's forward 50 at the moment.
They've been good. They've been playing the ground. The game's been mainly played in their forward third. Really good goal by Monfries. Jetta, he's the speed, the real ground level speed. Therefore, the chase and the tackle and the pressure out of the Essendon forward line. He averaged 7 tackles a game, and but it's good start by Essendon. Good start. They're in better shape going into this Anzac Day game. They certainly have been for the last 2 or 3 years, comparative to the Magpies.
Collingwood have won 5 of the last 6. Dennis told that earlier in the telecast. So they've had the wood on the Bombers of late. Overall, it's been pretty even. 9-7 in that draw. Howlett just hacks it. Tuvey overruns it. Swan, Davey just ripped it away almost. Paddles the ball forward. Of course, he's the other one forward with Jetta, isn't he? Davey, who can put that pressure on. Hocking tried to get it forward. Brown was good. Tuvey caught up by Davey. That's a brilliant tackle. Carlisle, quick handball away. Watson tried a toe poke. Clark, he must be lipping his lips to get back into a contest like this after that year or two in Ireland. And Maxwell kicks it out on the full. Matthew Richardson down on the ground. Matty.
They're at the centre bounces. Essendon are only playing 3 forwards. I think they believe they can get them one-on-one inside 50.
Fletcher kicked it deep. Collingwood getting it free though.
You mentioned the big Marty Clark. Well, he's got the big job, I think, on Stanton. Stanton is Essendon's main link man, running creative link man. So Clark's got that shutdown function.
Stanton was great last Saturday. Johnson, short, Clark, left half back. This will help if he picks up a few possessions himself. He goes down towards half forward. Heppel, moments ago on the other side of the ground, we saw him leading from half forward, this time at half back where he started the game. Takes the mark, goes to Monfries, who got the last goal. Howlett on the outer side. Little chip to space. Filled nicely by Watson. Joe Watson looks deep. Sends it long down towards full forward. Right it from here. Well done by Maxwell, though. Got him out of the contest. Crumbed by Keith. Ample time to turn around. Kicks it to Jolly. Jolly gives it to Swan. Swan up towards the wing and Cloak. Cloak, the defensive side of the wing. Not much on. He's getting 50.
Right inside the protected area, I think Dyson.
Yep.
At the protected area, 5 metres either side of the line of the mark is protected.
You can't run from behind within 5 metres.
So the man on the mark
right on the 50.
is right on the 50. Doubt Cloak can get the distance. Swan is cruising past. That's ignored. Cloak gets under it and hooks it towards the pocket. Big packet to drop. Bell Chambers, who's been terrific, set up that goal for Monfries. Dropped the mark that time. No easy mark. Hibbert grabs it. Kicks it just to the 50. Going back. Spilt out there by the youngster. That was Seedsman. Taken away by Heppel over the top of Maxwell.
With Cranberry, Maxwell going well to Brown, to Buckley, to Beams. So Collingwood in a good spot here. Wanted the short to Clark, but Howlett picked it off well. They've done that a couple of times, the Bombers. Zaharakis, that famous goal 3 seasons back. Heppel gets it from Watson. Has to backtrack. In trouble. Beams, 50 metres out, goes towards goal and a bit worried at the boundary throw.
Just had no one to kick it to Heppel. He actually tried to maintain possession as he had to. Almost got pinged for holding the ball. The umpire said he flicked out a little handball. It was a little one.
Yep.
Probably there, though.
Dawes in front, slaps it down. Hardingham dragged down. Did he get boot to ball? Swan's got it in the pocket, snaps and kicks the goal. How about that?
Well, he's a champion player, we know that, but he's at his best when he's kicking goals, Swanee. He's racked up 30 disposals in each of the 4 games so far this year, but only the 1 goal. Last year over 30 goals, and if he can get 2 or 3 today, it'll make a real bonus. He hasn't really imposed himself on any Anzac Day match, Swan, not like Pendlebury, but today he started well, and Collingwood making the most of their opportunities.
Haven't got much time and space to get the ball here. It's just like a swarm of players. The Swan grabbed the ball, good goal, but really they're just a swarm of players really just following where the footy is at the moment. Game will open up a little as it progresses.
So Collingwood back in front. Swan just the 2 goals in 7 Anzac Day matches for 4 today, and just 1 goal this season. So that's a good start for him. The ball's still not out. Now it comes. Dawes puts the clamps on.
No.
Just looking at the Essendon forward line, still happy to leave Harry O'Brien deep against Carlton last week. You can just see it on screen there right in the middle of the arc. Carlton last week brought that player up close to the contest.
So Dawes, the second ruckman, Pendlebury, getting the clearance for Solo and Watson, both eyes on the footy. Seedsman, first time he hasn't been sub in any of his league games, and again that ball in a stoppage situation and a ball up.
It's interesting that thinking of why they're allowed, Essendon are prepared to let O'Brien at one end and get theirs at the other. Because I think they think if they can create some run and movement, that might be their strength. So they're trying to set it up that way.
Magpies lead it by 3 points after the bounce. Watson again kicks down towards half forward. Into his teammate down there any favours though. Bell Chambers chasing Keith. Now O'Brien's away. Little chip beyond the wing. Goldsack takes it. Goldsack into Mines. Fasolo calling for the footy. Goldsack didn't like that option. Goes back to centre half back. Taken by Brown. Brown changes things completely. The angle of attack from the outer side now. Swan a little chip down towards the 50. Wellingham, not his best effort. Falls to Dawes. Hooks it down towards full forward. Pendlebury juggled it twice. Monfries picked it up. touched off the boot. Beams has it. About 35 metres out Beams. That was touched off the boot as well. Getting back down there deep in defence. Hooker was in trouble across the line. It's taken by Hardingham and a behind.
Regardless of being touched, it was a dangerous kick back in board from Monfries, and luckily it was touched before Beams got it, but play the boundary safe.
Nelson, well, he got rid of one, but he couldn't quite get rid of the other. Sinclair's been terrific here, but a poor kick. Just a moment ago, Sinclair came across Pendlebury. Pendlebury had that mark, and he was pretty upset that Sinclair just stopped it in his tracks. Wellingham hacks it forward. Hardingham, well, that wasn't good. Sinclair goes back to Jolly. The ball spills. Beams goes forward. Melsham torpedoes it away. It goes into the centre. A one-on-one. Jetta did okay. Held up. Pendlebury silky to Johnson on the right side for him. In short, Melsham's been busy in the last minute or two. Hibbert has to squeeze. And then Pears under pressure. Back it comes to Hibbert. And then Hibbert across the ground. Swans lurking.
He's about 70 metres out the lurker. Gets a hand pass away to Johnson. Well, Johnson somehow made himself invisible. Got through there. Gives it across towards Buckley. And Buckley pulls it far too hard through for a minor score.
One of those things we mentioned, when you're playing an extra defender as Essendon, you know that you've got to run the ball out. You can't just kick it out. So the Essendon defenders are holding onto the ball to try and create and use the numbers down there. But the Collingwood pressure held them up.
Well, Essendon are putting their loose man closer to the contest. Collingwood more than happy to have him right off a kick and a half behind. That's the fundamental difference between the two defensive structures.
Bramry, virtually unchallenged, takes the mark overhead. Young Sinclair a bit jumpy down there in that forward 50. A few of the senior players having a shot at him. Last time around it was Jolly who didn't get a hand pass. Next time Sinclair got the ball, he hand passed it straight to Jolly, who had 3 men on him. The ball goes down towards half forward. Brown drops back and claims it. He stepped back in nicely. Brown lays it off. Pendlebury, the winner of the last 2 Anzac Day medals, goes across the ground. And out there it's Coovey.
Aggressively trying to go from one side of the ground to the other. They're certainly prepared to attack.
Fasolo, and then Dawes run down. Watson's tackle was terrific. Gee, well done though by Toovey. Just scooped it up to Clark. Clark's probing ball inside 50. Goldsack did extremely well. Little left footer. Side bottom needs the ball to stay in. It didn't quite.
Really handy hand on it there, Carl Hooker, just to push it over the top.
Good tackle. Well, maybe a little high actually, Watson first up, but not seen by me, and more importantly, by the man with the whistle. So Dyson's quick kick. Does he get it far enough? Jetta couldn't control it. Toovey will worry it to the line, and a boundary throw. Richo.
Bit of a concern out on this members' side wing. Ben Johnson has had 8 disposals. Alwyn Davey is yet to touch it. Might be time for a change there.
Jolly knocks it down. Seedsman close to the boundary line. It's out. 14 plays 9. 8 minutes out, a bit less from quarter time on Anzac Day. No rain during the game itself. Plenty of rain this morning during the march. Unfortunate. Swan having a good game. Side bottom. Hurriedly inside the forward 50. Oh, gutsy mark, Heppel.
He's a good player, isn't he? Yep. Second-year player, but he just does everything right.
Well, he takes a chance here, Lee. He wants Stanton's run. This will be interesting. Well done, Clark. He was a match. And then O'Brien. Wellingham just broke the tackle. Brilliant handball. Well, Richo talks about Johnson. Here's another one. Centering ball's a beauty. Well, I thought it was for Fasolo. It had too much in the end. But Fasolo rips Bell Chambers off. Surely was holding the ball.
The whistle's gone. Let it go, let it go, let it go. The whistle's gone. The free kick's back there.
Well, I thought Bell Chambers was lucky here.
Yeah, he was very lucky. He tried to kick the ball, so he made the attempt. The umpire had chosen. He hadn't had prior opportunity. So even though the attempt was unsuccessful, play on was called.
Lee, they'll love the Clark-Stanton matchup right now. We just saw a moment ago he was able to go with him.
Clark's so important to get Essendon's flow going, Stanton, and Clark's done well early on.
Huge confidence builder for Clark on that occasion to win a one-on-one contest.
You know Stanton will keep going. It was awkward for Beams in the end. He had to get down low. Not a great handball. Fasolo quickly got into the back turn, and he's been pinged.
The Collingwood supporters thought that was a lot like the Bell Chambers one. But that's the thing, every incident is just slightly different.
David Zaharakis, best and fairest last season. Started on the bench. De Savo kicks it towards the outer side. Close to the boundary. Carlisle gained about 10 metres. Well done. Stopped, trapped, gathered. O'Brien virtually in the one motion. Johnson pumps it back towards half forward. Well done by Fletcher.
Collingwood halfbacks holding up extremely well at the moment. Essendon coming forward with the wave with the loose player back. You see the spoils there pretty even at this stage. But Maxwell Brown certainly settled in really well.
Centre wing, Jolly. Interesting article on Jolly this morning. He was an Essendon fan as a kid, and he said that Peter Somerville made a great deal of difference to his early development. And then Jim Steins when he went to Melbourne. So not a great kick coming forward. Maxwell able just to get a bit on it. Carlisle started slowly forward. He can play at both ends, Carlisle.
Essendon know they need to run the ball into their forward line because anything aerial at the moment is looking like the Collingwood defence is under control.
So Cramry, one of the key targets forward, and when Ryder's there, and Carlisle the third.
He landed in his back.
Of course, no Hurley
Stay clear now.
today, so Blair in the back half.
Free kicks 3-4. Bombers way. Side bottom. Sends a very high ball towards half forward. They came from all angles. Falls to the side. Blair's got the run of it. Goes inside the centre square. Controlled it brilliantly. It has that coming out of a pack. Spotted two of them. Gave it to Pendlebury. Wellingham. Back to Pendlebury. Running out of space. Hard against the boundary line. Goal sack.
Must have been panicky for him, but then he got the front position, but then he realised he's too far under the footy and he's just too late to stop and take a step two back. He just knew he was out-positioned.
Tyson Goldsack doesn't kick a lot of goals. Important one here, just to skip away by 11. Well, they skip away by 6.
Big miss, wasn't it? He doesn't, and he kicked one in the grand final. I think he might have got the first one in the grand final replay. Remember when he came into the team, but he's got the job on Fletcher today in this first quarter. And speaking of the veteran, it's a long kick again. He wants Bell Chambers. He gets it over the back, so not a bad result if they can hold it here. They haven't quite been able to. Gee, Brown's been impressive, hasn't he?
Also.
That one has, well, just went out, but his movement's been great.
Yeah.
What a job he did on Revolt in those grand finals. So Watson poking it forward. Cramry caught underneath. But I think the Bombers will like a stoppage here. It's been mainly in the last 10 minutes Collingwood's way to the left of screen.
They were rebounding so well, Collingwood. Yeah, so blocking it and starting with the stoppage is going to help Essendon.
Stanton tried to read it. Collingwood had the numbers at the back. Sinclair gets a lot on it. Now Essendon have got numbers. Pears couldn't quite mark it. This is an important ball. Fletcher, well, it's a bit indiscriminate to be truthful. On the up-seedsman, Pears rips him off it. Hibbert gets in hard with Pendlebury. Hocking caught up. Ball doesn't come out yet. Dawes, well done. Swan gets a lot on it. This bouncing ball.
Behind. Simple game of numbers on that occasion there. It was 3 Essendon defenders against 2 Collingwood forwards. In this battle here, we just see Dustin Fletcher with the airy. When you've got the outnumber like that in the crucial part of the ground, you've got to win it.
Bombers haven't scored in 15 minutes now.
He could have played for Brisbane Roar, Fletcher, with an airy like that, couldn't he?
Got the ensuing penalty, perhaps, Bruce.
Hibbert drives it in. Dawes takes the mark. Dawes looks down towards full forward. High ball. Falling in short, though. Hibbert comes up. He may have hurt himself, Hibbert.
Knew straight away, didn't he?
Yeah, he knew straight away. That terrible crampy, pingy feeling you get when the hamstring overstretches.
Now that's exactly it. It's a load thing. Given the weight of the game last week, as much preparation as you can do. The Bombers have had a pre-season where they've put on extra bulk and those become more powerful, and they've had some casualties along the way.
Yes, this afternoon. Very much unexplored territory, you've got to say. Hibbert, the first casualty, off he comes. Bad luck. Meantime, out of defence, Fletcher close to the boundary line. 2 bombers up. Beams, the beneficiary, gets a hand pass out wide. Clark over it, falling to the ground. Stolen away, intended to Buckley. Hallett grabbed it, kicks it inside the forward 50. Harry goes back. Looks to the outer side. Needs to be precise. Finds side bottom. Breaking now is Buckley. Buckley is normally a very good kick. He's looking deep. Not much on offer. So the moment has passed. He wanted Cloak to come, and Cloak decided against that. So he puts it up high. I'll teach him. Straight to a pack contest. Well, 2 of them separated from the pack, and Cloak separated from his marker. Terrific.
Great mark, Dennis, and then a long bomb forward. Oh, Hardingham!
Good jump, Carney.
Brilliant, and then some offence from the back half to Melksham, to Carlisle. And then Carlisle, slow, dangerous, but Stanton's okay now. O'Brien's filled the hole again, so Stanton might have to go. Well, he goes back inside.
Just saw Harry O'Brien on screen. He's been really disciplined in this role. He hasn't been sucked up to the contest, and where Essendon got Carlton.
Watson waited. It wasn't the thing to do. Good tackle by Dyson. Cloak looks up, tries to get to Dawes, just had too much. Fletcher, Melksham, gets down low. Back to Fletcher. Fletcher off a step. Does that ball stay in? Just, and now out.
Bruce, the sub has been made already, so they've assessed him. He's done a hammy. Hibbert and Elio will be coming on.
And think of Essendon, they've had a lot of soft tissue problems, haven't they?
Yeah.
It's really worried them this year.
Swan, who's been outstanding. Blair, very valuable since coming on. Back to Swan. He's racking up the possessions, up to 13 now. This ball right on the boundary line, didn't go out. Cloak kept it alive. Seedsman's over it now. And the ball doesn't release, so the umpire will ball it up. We're down to 54 seconds. 16 plays 9.
Dennis, it's the 4th time in 5 matches that they've had to have the substitute in the first quarter Essendon this year.
Yeah, well, injuries coming thick and fast for us last weekend, Bruce. Well, you didn't do the game on Saturday, but that injury to Carazzo in about the opening 3 minutes, and then 2 minutes in, we saw Rowan go down. Zaharakis finds right. A dangerous place, a footy match in the opening minutes. A bottle of champagne uncorked. There's testosterone everywhere as the ball goes inside the forward 50. Gathered by O'Brien again, over the top to side bottom.
Had a terrific opening term, side bottom. Swan and Pendlebury have been busy as well. Tries to draw Beams to the kick, and he gets him. Not long to go, as you can see. It's been a terrific opening term. Side bottom's left foot. Front spot was jolly. Cloak was at the back, and the boundary throw in. So Heath Shaw, he'd love to have had him out there today.
He gives him bounce out of the back.
And he's got a hammy along with Dale Thomas. They've got Tarrant out as well, of course. And one of 2 others that are in their top team. And again, side bottom. And that ball not going anywhere in the end. So competitive opening term. Essendon just found it hard when they're going forward. They didn't have the numbers, did they? Collingwood able to repel. O'Brien filling the hole. Big injury, though, to Hibbert. It means that Essendon are 1 man down. They've activated the sub. It's quarter time. Anzac Day at the G. That man's been there right from the start. It's Collingwood 2-4 to Essendon 1-3.
They should be further ahead, Collingwood, from the opportunities.
Start of the second term, Collingwood by 7 points. Low-scoring game. Bell Chambers wins the tap. Collingwood's midfield have been prolific in this opening term. Side bottom and Swan and Pendlebury and Johnson, the other one. Down to you, Tim.
Well, Mick hit the nail right on the head, and that was about the Essendon's midfield last week. They were so good in the spread and controlling the spread of Carlton, but they haven't had the same energy and intensity. And also they've had their Stanton, the player that they go to so often, has been locked down by Marty Clark, who's done an excellent job. Yeah,
just 2 disposals for Stanton in the opening term. He's been averaging 29 this year. So Zaharakis gets it to 50. Brown did well. He worked Cremery under with his forearm. Tuvey read it best. Wants the boundary line. Dyson knows that Doesn't go out. So Dyson, who's looking for a free, actually gets the footy. Back to Cranberry. Davey inside. Doesn't take the ball cleanly. Got to push in the back. On hands and knees. Sloppy handball. Harry O'Brien, so much in the question in the first quarter. Johnson's had 11 now and Pendlebury's up to 9.
Harry O'Brien got the football on that occasion. He's playing on Carlisle. Buckley's the player who's free, who got called back from the half-back flank to fill the hole.
Pendlebury, beautiful kick, found side bottom, swings it wider. Keith, now on our broadcast side, goes down towards half forward for Solo, stretches, takes the mark. They've moved it beautifully. Awkward half volley though for Cloak, just outside the 50, taken high, he'll get the free kick. And again, with that awkward distance, man on the mark, virtually on the 50. This will take his very best.
These are the kind of goals he actually kicks, doesn't he? When he's a long way out, he has to kick it really firmly for the distance, often keeps him online.
Drawing on inspiration from a former bomber, Matthew Lloyd. It's working its way back. It hit the post.
Struck that absolutely beautifully. That went dead straight, that ball. So Lee's theory about when he has to generate some extra distance has got a hell of a lot of merit, I've got to say.
Think back to the grand final last year and those unbelievably long goals he kicked in the first half. So Hawker, side bottom, well done. Having a terrific start side bottom, up to 11. Swan's got 13. 11 for Johnson. 9 for Beams and Pendlebury. So they're big figures early. Buckley off the back of the foot. Well done. Sinclair, Heppel. And then Melcham, who had a lot of the ball in the opening turn, to Heppel, to Hooker. Hooker's left foot. OK, Zaharakis. Actually, Davey missed an opportunity a couple of minutes back. Bell Chambers.
I got in the way.
Yep.
You see what they're trying to do here, the Bombers, bring it back through the corridor. Collingwood more adept to bring the ball around the boundary.
Sloppy kick. And Keith did pretty well to Johnson. And then Buckley back to about 45 metres. Hooker. Hardingham, he loves to run.
Takes something off the kick. Finds Howlett. Howlett sweeps it back inside. Dyson, one of his left side. That was cramped. And as a result, set Howlett up. Well, that was amazing. League footballer. Anyway, we won't dwell on it. Short pass comes from Jolly, and the mark is taken by Beams. That time he had to kick it with his right boot. But Dyson, wonderful by Jetta. Knocked it away from an opposition player inside bottom, who then manages to get it from Fasolo. Goes to Wellingham, dragged down by Jetta. Side bottom right on the 50, lacking support. Placed the ball down. Lonigan, tough hombre, tried to work his way out of there. Side bottom stumbles out of the pack. It's taken by Wellingham down towards full forward. Well done, goal sack. Ricochets in the wrong direction for Collingwood, though. Pear's hand pass was indiscriminate. Falling to the ground is Beams. Look out, Bombers. He'll do something with it. Pendlebury finds Cloak, turns around, goes in, gets the goal.
Spot on, Dennis, well called. Once Pendlebury got the ball at the top of the 50 arc, he had time to look at what was in front of him. Hooker had no chance of ripping the ball away from Cloak, so Collingwood just getting a bit of breathing space now. All that hard work in the first term suddenly starting to show up on the scoreboard. It's still not a big lead, but it's a good lead.
Well, terrific pressure inside their forward 50 here, and Travis Cloak, the beneficiary with the goal. All the damage has been done by side bottom and Johnson. They're playing on the wings, they're pushing back, rebounding from 50 and setting them up from there.
Essendon hasn't scored anything for 25 minutes. In that time, Collingwood have kicked 2 goals, 5, and they've got the big lead of the match. Good hands coming from Ryder. DeLulio, the sub. To behind. Good tackle at the back. I think it was Tuvey.
Great effort by Nathan Brown, and we spoke in the pre-game about his quadricep condition, but certainly showed a good turn of speed in defence on this ball.
Monfrey's looking for a free, not coming. Fletcher belts it away. Beams hooks it back. Now Fasolo, good stretch in the front. Heppel with him. Fasolo kicked 5 goals against the Bombers in the only game he's played against them. That wasn't Anzac Day, that was later in the year. Last season, Lonigan, Heppel held up in the tackle, and then Fletcher bangs it forward.
Bounces inside the 50. Well done by Maxwell. Well done by Ryder to get him down. Strong tackle by Cranmery. How will the umpire call it?
The ball's pinned
Ball
straight
it
away.
up. Brown, the last man to get up with the footy.
He's playing basic football. Dustin Fletcher, he just grabs and kicks it. No risk about being pinned for holding the ball. He just gets it out of his area.
That's what he's learned in 20 seasons.
That's it.
Amazing. Wide of the pack. A chance for Jolly. In keeping with the day, he's got the turning circle of a gun turret. There goes the kick downwards, full forward from Howlett. It bounces through for a minor score.
I think we can overcomplicate things at times, Lee, and Dustin Fletcher's had great longevity. He does the basics well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So a couple of behinds to Howlett today. Johnson's raking kick. Stanton had first touch, so Clark knew it wouldn't be a mark. DeLulio and Blair on the boundary throw-in.
To see how Essendon try and work Stanton on that Clark matchup. Obviously, Clark's going to go wherever Stanton goes, so Essendon at least have got the advantage of positioning Stanton where they best think he will be suited in that matchup.
Hocking's little gift to Jetta. Terrific tackle. Howlett. And again, a great smother. That was Wellingham. And a terrific backup tackle by Wellingham on.
That was Luke Ball, as Tim Watson spoke about the efforts to replace Luke Ball's tenacity around the footy, and that is it right there.
As I said a couple of years ago when Pendlebury got the Anzac medal, it was probably a toss-up between he and Wellingham. That was a very one-sided match, basically all over at quarter time. Jetta as a toe poke came from Melsham. Jetta looks the most dangerous of the forwards. Well, it looked high, didn't it?
Johnson comes away. Came back last week, adding to that return today. He's been tremendous. Down goes Dawes. Off the ground, Pendlebury. Gains about 30 metres. The important players for Collingwood this afternoon getting plenty of it. Pendlebury running at 11. Johnson 14. Sidebottom 12. Swan 14. Massive numbers. They're up by 38 possessions so far, Collingwood. I know that doesn't determine winners, but it helps. Pendlebury on the ground. Stanton got him down. By contrast, Stanton has had only 2 possessions, and Watson has had 6.
The other
By his lofty standards, even that's quiet.
The other one, Dennis, is Heath Hocking. He's attempting to do a number on Scott Pendlebury. He hasn't actually touched the footy yet, so there's one part to actually lock down. The second part is to be offensive when you've got the footy not happening.
Jolly and Bellchambers. Bellchambers, here's Swan again. Takes Watson on. Oh, that was arrogant, wasn't it? One bounce, centering ball, getting back with Curry, charting him. Loves to play on. Now Hooker's got nowhere to go. He's going to have to kick it to the boundary almost. He'll go back, really, to Fletcher. Swings it back. Now Fletcher sizes it up. They did well because Hooker could have panicked. Gets to Melsham. Now Melsham, can he get much on the left foot? Not bad along the line in a boundary throw-in. Free kick, I think, to Cranmery.
Been a good matchup, though, that one, though, for Collingwood. Browns look very comfortable in the air.
Cranmery sends it down towards the forward pocket. Monfrey's battles there with Jolly. Live ball at the back, still a live ball. Ryder did brilliantly, colliding with the post there. Wellingham. Could be a free kick to Wellingham. Thought he was taken a little high after the whistle blew. Apparently not. He's thinking he was thrown into the turnbuckle there. He was not amused. Down goes Johnson and the whistle. Very undervalued player, I reckon, Ben Johnson. When he's on, he is so destructive.
Sort of runs, carries, kicks long, doesn't he? He always gives good penetration off half-back.
It's Collingwood's Birchall, or Birchall's Collingwood's Hawthorns. You know what I mean. Opportunity for Cranmery. Trying to dig it out of there. O'Brien throws it on the boot. It bounces inside the centre square. Carlisle gathers it nicely. Dyson does well. Now, he assesses the options, does Fletcher, for an eternity, and goes short to Carlisle inside the centre square. This is where they're breaking down.
So he decides to load it up, Carlisle. Right of the target. At the back, DeLulio's already kicked it behind. Across the face and a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, their big matchup that might work for him is that Ryder for a Coote. At the moment, Coote's doing well as the big defence for Collingwood, but whether Ryder can actually start getting his hands on a few of those balls in that congested area.
I feel like they've got to score from these situations though today. Haven't been able to do it so far. Swan got down. Cramry. That ball coming back towards Beams. Just a little topo. Cramry wins his own ball back, but the ball's outside the 50. Collingwood will be happy with that. Sinclair involved, ball up. Like a wave Collingwood there, weren't they? They were able to force the ball 30 metres forward. That's the Collingwood forward line at the City end of the ground. Fantastic crowd, close-ish match, but the Bombers needing a goal. They trail by 12 points. Jolly, Pendlebury, beautiful handball. O'Brien, geez, Swan, how much has he had, Dennis?
16 possessions now, Bruce. Pendlebury not far behind him, forced a hand pass that time. It was a good chase by Howlett. Carlisle goes across the ground. This is Dyson. Told to play on. Needs a bit of help here, Dyson. Kept his head, well done. Comes across to Hooker. Hooker pushes up from half-back, sends one down towards half-forward. Cramry did well. He worked round up the line of the ball. Howlett took the mark, plays on to Monfries, open goal, beckons. It's close, just wide of the mark. Cramry did very well.
Just had to drop it in front of Bill Chambers there. He had his direct opponent beat by about 2 metres. It would have been a dead straight shot, 15 metres out.
Can't be a race in this game. Who can start attacking through the centre square? As the pressure drops off a little, you have a little bit of space in the middle. That's where the goals are going to come from.
Keith's ball just dropped a bit short. Maxwell's first hands to it. Side bottom, drew the tackler, which meant that Johnson was able to get free of that man. Buckley, Beams underneath it. Collingwood to build. Geez, side bottom running so hard. The bounce now sits. Lovely neat kick along the line. Cloak, brilliantly done. Long ball in a dangerous spot for Solos. Good overhead. Roving at Blair. Brilliant tackle. It's a goal. Blair runs in and kicks it. Collingwood lead by 3. My instinctive thoughts were it was a good tackle, but obviously he'd ridden him into the ground. Big call, wasn't it? Because I think it was Delulio the tackler.
Might have been Hardingham.
Oh, was it Hardingham?
I'm not sure, Bruce, but I think it might have been.
How did you see it, Dennis? Originally, I thought it was okay.
Line ball like you. No, you're right.
Look at this.
Oh, I should know better, Bruce.
I'll tell you what, he had the technique right. He was going to roll, and then it was Blair. I think his knee got caught, which squared him back up, which accentuated the in-the-back. Stiff one there for the Bombers.
Over the football. Trying to get it out of there was Watson, not going very far. Slung violently was Wellingham. Beams the high ball inside the forward 50. Back goes Hooker. And Hooker sends it out towards the boundary. Tracking it out there is Seedsman. He wants deliberate. I'm not sure we'll get that.
You're very hopeful, that one.
I reckon.
It was interesting. There was 2. Have a look at this tackle. You got to turn. Yeah, it's probably close enough to in the back. Benefit of the doubt should always go to the player in front.
As Bruce called it, Delulio. I saw Hardingham remonstrating strongly with the umpire about a free kick going to the little fella. Lear on the outer side. Lonigan. Hardingham maybe needs to take it to the Smalls Claims Tribunal. Hand pass comes over the top. Here's Watson. Watson. Zaharakis inside the forward 50. That's what they need. Zaharakis on the run. Like Zaharakis, he had a turnaround season last year. Won the best and fairest. He's averaging more possessions already this season than he did last year. I think from memory, 22 possessions a game last year. He's up to 25. He's got leg speed, nice finisher, and he can go a long way. And this is the sort of game, I'm sure, that steals him in that direction. David Zaharakis, good running goal when they needed one.
It's a great result here for the Bombers. They've made Harry O'Brien in particular accountable, and this was more like the plan you think they wanted to execute. They've run the ball through the corridor, got it over the top, and running towards goal.
35 minutes since an Essendon goal. Watson goes in hard on Pendlebury. Zaharakis has now kicked 60 goals in his career. The very first one was the match winner 3 years ago on this day.
It makes an enormous difference if you can attack your forward line from the centre square, as Essendon were able to do then. It's just so hard for the defence to work off their opponents.
Right, it just got over the top of Dawes. Lonergan, here's Zaharakis again. Long ball underneath Bill Chambers. O'Brien, they'll love that.
Well, that centre set up, Bruce. They were, Collingwood I'm talking about here, were able to orchestrate the free man.
So Clark has got the big job on Stanton, and so far he's had a really good day. Couple of bounces, long kick, jolly front spot. Heppel was the spoiler. Sinclair trying to do the roving. He does. Gets the ball out to Pendlebury, only as far as Carlisle. Brought down in the tackle. Dyson. And that ball still in dispute. Hocking was there. Seedsman is there. I think it'll be a ball up now.
Margin 11 points. Just get the feeling the Bombers are doing a little better in the last 5 minutes. Ryder knocked it down. Not just talking about the scoreboard, but they're getting in and winning their fair share. Ball came out that time from Dyson. Bolsack went to ground. Buckley at close quarters. Tuvey across the body. Bounces it down towards half forward. Pendlebury steps a would-be tackler. Kicks inside the forward 50. Here comes Cloak again. Always the man in front, Cloak. Bit like Revolt. He's prepared to lead and lead. Hooker knocks it across to Stanton. Tackled by Swan. Back comes Cloak. Slapped out by Stanton. Over the football is Heppel. Heppel still going. Brilliantly done. Hardingham clears the zone. How will it bounce? Awkwardly for Cramry. He was in front, then he was behind. Gets back in front. Bowled over though by Maxwell. Maxwell clever to Buckley. Buckley short to Cloak again. Pushing up the ground.
And he's right, Lee, where he was about 10 minutes ago, Cloak, is in an area that we know he can go all the way.
Yeah, you know he's got the length from here.
Cramry was unlucky. It was a great contest he made a moment ago. He had no real chance. He held Collingwood up for that minute. But Maxwell, clever stuff. Cloak, who debuted on this day in 2005. He's made his mark on this day. 3 times he's had 1 Brownlow vote. Long and strong and straight. He's kicked 2 in the second quarter. Well, he's a massive weapon, isn't he? He really is. Great mark. He went from a 30-goal man to a 60-goal man last year. In fact, he got close to 70 goals. I mean, if you're having 2 picks for a big forward right now, you'd either take Cloak or Franklin. Be one or the other. They're very different. I mean, Buddy's just Buddy, but Cloak's just Travis.
Lovely set shot from 50 by Travis Cloak. Just want to ask Lee, the Pendlebury-Hocking matchup. Pendlebury's up to 15 now, 8 this quarter. Hocking only the 1 possession. They've both just come off the ground. They're getting nothing out of offensively. Essendon, do you change it?
Well, you're going to have to look to change that because it's just working so far against Essendon.
Here's Melksham. Beams was bowled after Jolly got it down to him. Good smother by Clark. Momfrey's at close quarters. The speed of Jetta goes long down towards the forward pocket. Tracking back is Maxwell. Essendon wanted to go out of bounds, and that ball, at least for the moment, barracks for the Bombers.
But have a look at what Essendon would do with Brett Stanton, because he was being tagged fairly well. There's Kevin Shee in the crowd by Marty Clark. They put Stanton on to Swan, but I think Swan will try and play forward half and test Stanton's defence.
Bell Chambers claimed from behind by Jolly. Tuvey hasn't held to him, and the umpire will do the business about 25 metres out.
What's the pairing there? Half it all to see if Stanton can get into space, start some flow for Essendon.
16 possessions for Dane Swan. Well done, Lonergan. Got the arms free. Delulio the fumble. Maxwell straight to Howlett. Immediately gang tackled. Almost a clever hand pass got through there from Watson. Zaharakis gave it across to Dyson. Dyson's got problems now. He was put down. Wonderful tackling. Wonderful pressure. Magpies.
That was Collingwood of old there. It was just a swarm. You couldn't even see the stripes on the jumper. They came in that fast. Really hunted the ball. And Nathan Buckley would be certainly pleased with that.
Spot on, Tom. Was bees to a honeypot. Well, they just went so hard at the man and the ball. Lonergan in there. So how can they get some spread here, Essendon? Just to get a clear kick. 3 Essendon players had their hands on the footy and couldn't get a clear
It is
kick.
hard to get. Fantastic tackling game. 41 tackles to Collingwood, 54 to Essendon. That's a massive number, even before half-time.
And a tiring number too, Lee.
Yeah.
Having played 4 days ago, Swan doesn't quite get it far enough. Wellingham was sort of interrupting it a bit. Hardingham now, he's got to be careful. He's got the numbers. He needs to get it back. That was a little bit slack. Stanton written down. Wall whipped off, and suddenly Collingwood get the big advantage. A bad bounce. Dyson got rid of Sinclair. Ryder back in board. Dyson's a left footer. He looks up. He decides to go to the goal square. Cranberry front spot. O'Brien at the back. Takes them on. Jetta was good. He put the pressure on. Back to Swan, having a prolific opening half. Back he goes to Tuvey, and then Tuvey to Wellingham. These are good signs for Collingwood.
Bombers need to hold here. The margin currently at 17. Low-scoring affair. Fasolo's got the footy. The ball from East Fremantle. Drives it long down towards full forward. Favours Dawes. Always his. Always his.
They've been trying to take the front position of the Essendon defenders, which is good, but just a couple of times the ball's come over the back and one player's in the perfect position, which was Dawes.
Hasn't kicked a goal from a set shot this season, just 4 behinds. That time, he knew how far Fasolo could kick it. It's a huge benefit, and Fasolo kicked it close to 60 on the fly. Dawes deliberately in. Essendon get lucky. He doesn't score.
Just hasn't got his rhythm, has he? He's had not getting a lot of the ball. When he has getting it, he's sometimes when you don't get much of the footy, you're very shaky. When you do have it in your hands.
I reckon Mick Malthouse told us against Hawthorn that when he misses them early, it worries him.
Well, you think of as Mick was saying in the pre-game.
Yeah. So Heppel takes the mark.
As they say sometimes, don't think, do.
Your famous coach, John Kennedy.
John Kennedy.
Just hanging on here, Essendon, aren't they?
Absolutely are. They got more energy in their game at the moment, Collingwood. But again, it's not a high-scoring game, so not a lot even on the scoreboard.
And Tom, the thing that Collingwood are doing, they're denying time and space to the Bombers, aren't they?
Yeah, they certainly are, and I think Stanton's the big one. And if Stanton is running with Swan, it's a double win for the Pies because, as Lee said, Swan will take him forward. So you take him out of the spread situation, but also forcing him to defend.
They've done this well, Essendon. They've used the ball pretty well, but they're very wide to Monfries.
Whenever they're wide and they go in, then that extra height in Collingwood's defence is just getting them back the ball all the time.
And Lee, great example right there, wasn't it? And Swan held up the kick really cleverly to side bottom to Pendlebury. Dennis, 3 of the big stars.
Blair back to Pendlebury, quite right. They've been terrific today. The signs are good for Magpie fans. Dawes on the lead. Hand passes across to Buckley. Buckley intended for Seedsman, left the ball behind. 2 of the youngsters there. Sinclair could have been taken high. Speak about the youngsters. Fletcher on his knees to Heppel. I reckon he looked up there, Dustin Fletcher. Heppel there. Sinclair, Seedsman thought he was in a crash. The ball is on the wing. Gathered out there by Monfries. Kicked into the oncoming play. That was Jolly, who's been pretty good. He's working hard, Jolly. Gives a contest there over the top of Ryder. And the ball will be bounced on the centre wing. Warm applause for the big giant from Collingwood.
That's a really great example there. That's not game patterns or structures or anything like that. That's intent to actually win the ball, put the tackle on and win the contested footy.
He goes again, Jolly.
Chambers.
He talked today about not being able to wrestle, Jolly, and how he felt it was a part of the game that should be in it. Well, that kick marked beautifully by Pendlebury.
Great work by Maxwell off the ball there.
Pendlebury, massive first half. Remember, he's won the last 2 Anzac medals, 17 disposals. Only Hurd's won more Anzac medals, and nobody's won 3 consecutively. Is that 50?
Yep.
Well, these are important minutes now for Essendon. They certainly in the game, but they're 3 goals behind, and they've only kicked 2, and we're getting close to half-time. And Collingwood get the ball forward of 50. Seedsman drifting down.
That shouldn't happen. It was a slow play. It's a 50-metre penalty. Essendon had enough time to find out who's on who. On that occasion, Seedsman's just come from behind the play uncontested to see coming into the encroached area of, encroached on the area of 5 metres.
Well, I think as the game goes on, the defensive running is going to tire teams out.
So Seedsman gives it a hook. I said earlier, it's the first time he's actually started a match. 20-year-old in his first season. He's taken 76 in the draft, so speculative a bit by Collingwood. He and Sinclair are very high numbers, both out there today.
With the run, Maxwell with the judgment, Bill Chambers turns like a cheetah and sends it down towards half forward. Well, not exactly. In front down there, a chance now for Davey working with Jetta. He goes along the ground and kicks it. I reckon he might have to take Buddy Franklin under his wing, Alwyn Davey. I've seen Buddy try that a few times in recent games. It hasn't worked, but that time it was on the ground early. It had about 35 metres to travel, and it made its way ever so gently and ever so accurately right through the middle. So the margin is back to 12, and Essendon have reason to be very happy with that.
A goal here directly from a kick out, and there are only 3 ways to score goals: from clearances, turnovers and kick-ins. So it just shows you there the importance of actually putting some time and effort during the week into your structures to get a result on the scoreboard.
Davey with that running goal.
Comes the rain again.
Yep. Just before half-time, the rain coming down. Davies had a very interesting Anzac Day career. He played in 07, missed 08, played in 09, hasn't played in one since, but he kicked 3 goals in that first Anzac Day
the
match.
2 speeches together, wasn't it, Jetta and Davey?
So let's see how long this rain lasts. We've had so much rain in Melbourne over the last 2 days, and a lot this morning in the build-up to the match. Collingwood with the edge, but that was a vital, vital goal for Essendon. Hard-earned. Blair. Monfries, high tackle.
Better by the Bombers there, so I think it might have even been...
Blair's a bit ginger too, Tom. So Monfries, high one now. Ryder, where is he? Almost. It's 25 metres out. O'Brien puts the first tackle on Lonigan. Ball not still out. Collingwood trying to hold it in. Davies tackle, taken by Clark. Well done. Got a bit of room. Wellingham, Watson towards the line. Boundary throw. And this is heavy now. And if Essendon could sneak one here, that would be such a bonus.
Better intensity around the ball from the Bombers. It was Howlett was the player who crashed into Clark. He's now had the 6 tackles.
Well, if they turn 6 points down, it virtually erases the entire first half. There's Blair in the pack. That would be a wonderful result for the Bombers. Conversely, Collingwood have got other ideas. Willingham over the football. Taken high, he'll get the free kick.
How clear is Pendlebury then? A lot of pressure, but he just took it first field.
He and Beams both very good in the build-up there. And they got the free. It's half forward now. Dawes coming up the ground. Side bottom went to ground. Side bottom has been terrific. Just made a token move into the pack there, and the umpire calls for it.
Thank you.
Lee, what sort of a lead is it? It's 12 points. Is it anything at all?
What's a good lead? It's such a low-scoring game, and I think Collingwood probably have been a better team than a 12-point lead. So Essendon are hanging in there.
Collingwood go forward again through side bottom. Hardingham, a hard ball to take. Well played, Dawes, and then the toe poke forward coming from Beams. Heppel, so cool Heppel, isn't he? Dyson to Fletcher. Talk about Mr. Call. Spirals the ball towards the boundary line. It's been a really good first half, so combative and competitive. And that scoreboard in the end probably about right. Collingwood a couple of goals in front.
In keeping with the day, Bruce. 2 up.
Absolutely. Well, Kevin Sheedy to join Michael Moldhouse and Lee Matthews and Tom Harley for our half-time wrap-up. Anzac Day at the G. It's Collingwood by 12 over Essendon.
Pendlebury, he's been really good in the middle. It's interesting. Stanton stays starting in the middle. Zaraka's good. Ryder, he hasn't been in the game at this point.
Start of the second half, then opening bounce up high. Bell Chambers, Swan, Pendlebury. It starts very much as it ended in that first half. Those ball carriers of Collingwood, oh so busy. Beams has crept up too with 19 possessions. Pendlebury 20, Swan 20. Battle of strength. Jolly wins it down. Blair seems to be okay now. Was nursing a leg at half time. towards half forward from Buckley. Goal sack, 5 metres out. Run down from behind. Goal sack again. Oh, I think it's a goal still, is it? Or did it brush the post? We might have a replay here.
Through the goals. I'm not sure if it hit the post.
We'll review it? Yeah. OK. Review. Check if the ball has hit the post. Thank you. What did you see, mate?
I saw a boot. So
a boot?
got a boot onto it.
Yeah.
I can't see the post, so I'm not sure if it brushed the post, but I saw it.
All right. OK. Wait and see. Hang on, Dustin. Hang on. Hang on. Dustin. Just wait.
It's hard to tell, isn't it, whether it came off the post. That's what the video review's all about, though.
I reckon that's a goal. And I think saying you've got a boot on it was a little kind. It was, I think, a sprig.
A sprig indeed.
I want to see whether it actually...
Well, if it's inconclusive, they go to lead.
Yeah, it's partly whether the ball just changed its angle.
Review completed.
Thank you. Yeah.
Vision inconclusive. Umpire's call.
OK. Hear that? All right. All clear. 1 point.
Well, I reckon there was one replay there that showed daylight between the post and the footy.
I think it was almost there was a shadow on the post. But inconclusive, the lesser of the score gets awarded a point.
So we had one in Sydney similar to last week, didn't we, with Goldstein's. So that's bad luck for Gold Sacks. There must be something in the name. Here's Buckley over the top. Just thinking on the run then. Zaharakis didn't go off the ground. Thought he might have. Maxwell tried to. Went the wrong way, but he'd be OK. Brown on the outside of the foot. He's been good, Brown. To centre wing. Goldsack and Dyson. And that ball coming to ground. Jedders looked dangerous to Watson. Now does Joe wind it up? No, he goes to Jeddah and put him in heavy traffic. Zaharakis has already kicked one. He's kicked two. He loves this day, doesn't he? And Essendon get the important first one in the second half. She's important to them, Dennis. Zaharakis, he's a finisher. And it was an interesting build-up because Watson went back into heavy traffic really with Jeddah, but gee, I've liked Jeddah today. He's looked the most dangerous forward. He hasn't had a lot of the ball, but when he's got there, things have happened, a la the Davey goal.
That was the hallmark of their win over Carlton on Saturday, their speed up forward.
Now, this will please Coach James Hird no end. Brenton Stanton's had a tough first half. In his first opportunity he's got to influence the contest, he's put on a tackle. Essendon unable to maintain possession, and all of a sudden that's exactly what they needed. Swan
out of the middle, goes down towards half forward. Juggled mark is taken by Dawes, wheels around, kicks to space. Well, it was filled by the wrong man. Heppel peeled off his man. He was laid into the path of Blair. Didn't work out too well for Collingwood. Heppel took the mark. Stanton, only 2 possessions to half-time. But, as Tommy said, laid a strong tackle moments ago. Here's Heppel again. And Essendon will not go away. Heppel, not a good kick. Mark is taken by Sinclair, who's had a quiet day. Man on the mark about 45 metres out. Long one down towards full forward. Clears the pack. Hardingham gets back first. Kicks outside the defensive 50. About 5 metres in from the boundary. Knocking it forward, Carlisle. It goes out now.
One of the things I think that's up in James Hird, the sort of the wild card really is Ryder in the forward line. He hasn't spent a lot of time in the ruck. Be interesting to see whether he can have an impact there, particularly as the game goes on.
Good tackle by Howlett. So Lee, Bell Chambers, Jolly. Who's had the edge?
I reckon Bell Chambers, it's not that Bell Chambers is doing a bad job, but Ryder's not finding the ball much in the forward line, so maybe get Bell Chambers in there and let Ryder be the extra midfield runner as well as the ruck.
Davey got a hand on it. Swan yet another disposal. Heppel chasing. Dawes has looked pretty good today. Back he goes to Tuvey. Heppel's tackle just put him off a little. Howlett and Wellingham. Nice battle there. That ball's slippery now. Howlett's got it. Wellingham's got him. Ball up.
Influenced a couple of good contests there, Howlett. He's up to 8 tackles at the moment, leading the Bombers in that stat. And that's exactly what they need to do. Just reinforce that they're up for the contest.
Heavy duty stuff between the ruckmen again. Beams taken front on by Davey. Well done by Swan to Johnson, the old firm. In other words, half forward goes Johnson's kick taken across the line with some intent by Dyson. We've got to throw it. 37 plays 30. Nathan Buckley. 24 times he played against the Bombers. They weren't the best of times as far as Collingwood were concerned. In those games for just 8 wins. Jolly gets a free kick. He's been manful this afternoon. Can he go the distance? That's the question. Energy sapping the battle between the big men. It bounces and throw-ins around the ground today. Long kick downwards, full forward. Well, Dawes could have marked that one. Heppel hit the pack hard, crumbing. Taken down by Dawes. And the umpire will ball it up.
Just impressive, isn't he? Just gets in the right spot at the right time, Heppel, time after time.
Just reads it so well, doesn't he? Milsham, well, here he is again. Couldn't quite that time. Jetta.
Heppel again. I don't think they can test for reading the play at the draft camp. That's what he does really well.
So he's taken 8 in the draft. The year after Milsham was taken at 10, so they'll be happy with those 2 high picks.
Yep.
Not completely dissimilar, are they, in terms of their height and weight? Carlisle, nice mark. He's had a quiet day. Milsham, well, he fell over. He did pretty well in the first place. Trying to get a crack at it, DeLulio. That ball just getting away. Johnson wrapped up Milsham, and it's a boundary throw.
And a significant match-up in the Essendon. Well, there's a bit of a scuffle here. Don't want to give away a free kick. But significant match-up in the Essendon forward line. Angus Monfries has actually gone to Harry O'Brien, and he's a good defensive forward because he does draw the footy himself.
And does kick goals, does he? Beautiful hands, Blair to Seedsman. Not a good kick. Hooker, they've been severely tested, Hooker and Pears, but Cloak with a couple. Dawes has missed one.
Oh.
Now Watson gets 50.
That's coming in from behind that man on the mark into that protected area we refer to.
Do you like the rule, Lee?
I think it's probably a little bit pedantic, but it's trying to stop sneaky plays being sneaky and holding up the play, of course, Tom. If everyone was honest, you wouldn't need her.
Watson goes long down towards full forward. 1-8 contest in the square. Keefe did well with strength, knocked it down in front. Hocking's third possession is a goal.
Well, just what the Bombers wanted. They got that late goal before half-time, so they've kicked the last 3 now, Essendon. They were close enough on the board at half-time to feel like they could mount a challenge, and, well, the beginning of this second half, they're doing just that. Collingwood's had the ball in their 50 for a long time now forward in this quarter, and Essendon's been able to hold up. Hard to take an overhead mark at the moment, those 2 forwards for Collingwood with the rain.
The basic cramming position in the front of the pack. The ball comes to the front of the pack more often than not. You only need to get a quick kick there, point-blank range.
Spare a thought for Heath Hocking. His last 10 days have been Ablett, Judd, Pendlebury.
He's been in the high office, hasn't he? So back to a point. The closest have been in 52 minutes. The Bombers got down low, no free kick. It was interesting. Beams over the top. Fasolo gets a fair bit on it. Cloak chasing it hard. Can he get to his left foot? Goldsack nearly. Oh, Fletcher, Mr. Gadget, belts it out. He buys a little bit of time. Side bottom, 90 metres from goal. Will kick to Beams. So Hocking and Zaharakis, the goal kickers in the second half. It's a real bonus for Hocking. Talked about at half-time with Pendlebury. So front of the goal square. Oh! Swan!
Sure who his matchup was here, Swan, but his matchup didn't fly with him. Might have been Howlett, do you think, Tom?
I just think Howlett needed to influence the contest.
Yeah.
His side on it. The ball's not going to drop there. You're not going to win it. You're either front and score or you go in with Swan.
Well, he's playing some sort of a game, Swanee. Straight in front, he kicks his second. Collingwood edge away again.
That was a terrific grab. Really, he's not supposed to do that. Up to 24 possessions now, and very much having a wonderful influence on this game from Collingwood's point of view. But they need more, simply because the players they need to go well are going well, and it's not reflected on the scoreboard. They need a bit of help. 43 plays 36.
So Swan with a couple. And 24 disposals. Collingwood by 7 points. Sinclair to Beams. And then Beams has had a wonderful day. Fletcher. Hardingham. It's a good kick by Fletcher. So Ryder's long here, but he won't be able to get it that far. This is dangerous. It's a poor kick. Swan looks up. Gee, Hardingham did that poorly. Well played, Swan. Good.
He's going to get it again here.
Taken by Cloak. He's going to have a shot.
Yes, it's just, we mentioned about Dustin Fletcher. He in a way doesn't take any chances. Often he doesn't create, but under pressure, get the ball 50 metres downfield. When you do a short kick and it's intercepted, then you get cut up.
He plays the percentages, doesn't he? So Cloak with 2, Cloak with 3, I think.
Oh.
So Swan and Cloak, 2 of the biggest names, kick them away. Well, for not the first time on Anzac Day, Cloak makes a mark. Kicked 5 goals back in 08. He's got a good record here. That was a great kick. 45 metres out. Never going to miss. Collingwood pinch a break.
Spoke about getting Ryder into the ruck, and he's against Dawes, who's the second ruckman for Collingwood. This might be just an influential next 5 minutes to see what happens in that matchup in there.
Collingwood's biggest lead of the afternoon, 18 points. They're up by 13 right now after Essendon really challenged. Out at the middle, worked forward by Pendlebury. Got about 15 metres. Howlett's got it. Willingham's got him. Takes him down. Wanigan not going very far either. And the umpire will ball it up. Of course, there was that controversial replay. It'll be interesting to see that again. I'm sure we'll see it many times during the course of the week if, in fact, it was a goal. It did appear as though it was a goal. It was denied to Collingwood. Here's Swan. Left it behind. Down goes Watson. Crowd one in the back, at least those that support Essendon do. Howlett kicks it up towards the wing. Cranry tried to knock it to Davey. All Essendon around the football. Sitting Zaharakis. Tried to find Cranry. Cranry's over the football now. Gets to his feet. Well done. Releases Zaharakis again. Inside. Stanton. This would do his confidence the world of good, but not that. I was talking about a goal. He's bounced it out of bounds.
And I reckon if Stanton had a bit more of the footy so far in the game, he would have just ran further with the footy. Sometimes he just wanted to get the possession. Could have probably ran another 5 metres, made a certainty of that goal.
Dawes and Ryder went through Willingham. It's a hard footy at the moment. Monfries can't quite. Jetta off the ground. Carlo. Zaharakis. No free kick. It's a behind Richer.
Real problems around the clearances for Essendon at the moment. Now's their time, though. It's 10-1 Collingwood's way, but Dawes has gone into the ruck.
Well, was this unlike Blair's? I'm not sure, but hard job.
Threw himself forward then.
So a couple of goals in it. Collingwood have led for most of the day. That looks like it's out on the full. It is, so Essendon will bring it back.
Joe Watson. From about 65, long kick. Davey, token effort at the back, runs free. Monfries, was he held early? He was certainly grabbed by the arm. Howlett goes with the outside of the boot, and he's put it through. Opportunist goal. Well done by Howlett. Roving the pack, getting the crumb, and aligning himself very well. Generally a negator, but they needed the touch of a scorer there, and he delivered, so it's back to 6 points. And the Bombers certainly have been impressive with the way they've stuck at it this afternoon. Of the 2 games last Saturday, theirs against Carlton, I think, was much more physical.
Joe Watson on the end of the free kick from Ben Johnson kicking it out of bounds. This just puts the defenders under enormous pressure. Just get it in there. Good effort here by Monfries to stay involved. And Howlett's been fantastic. His work around the contest is great. Need to get in front. The Bombers spent so much energy getting close, but need to put in front.
Johnny has a victory over Ryder. Thumped on by side bottom for Solo. Hooker. Little toe poke came from Dyson. Watson having a good turn. Lonigan. Little kick forward. Jeddah's been very dangerous, I think. Johnson with him. Well played, Jeddah. To Stanton. Quickly onto the boot. Bouncing ball towards the pocket. Not a bad result. Collingwood had numbers. Essendon get another stoppage.
We're starting to get the ball played in their half. Inside 50 still in favour of Collingwood for this quarter.
The one thing that has happened, the Essendon forwards are at least bringing the ball to the ground in the air.
Coming forward. Free kick, kicking in danger.
I still reckon it's a really grey area.
Straight away.
It's like a lot of things. It's the umpire's call. It's a subjective judgment as to whether the kick is a dangerous kick. And normally if you go at the ball in the middle of the air like that, well, no, he didn't really follow through with the kick. So, yeah, very 50-50, those kind of kicks.
Sort of pulled the kick, I thought.
Yeah,
Swallow really stiff. So Lonigan straight in front has kicked the goal. Essendon draw level.
So impressive. They just keep rolling. They keep on coming. A lot of players down. We mentioned the total possessions. They're still trailing by about 34 in the game. Collingwood so much more of the ball. But there is really some resolve about this Essendon side that you've got to appreciate, regardless. And players that are having bad days often determine the outcome of games. And some of these players who haven't had a lot of the ball are still working double time. How about this then? 49 points apiece.
Just look at ground level, Tim. Different view from up the top. How's the energy level of Essendon looking comparative to Collingwood?
I think it looks better in the second half, Luke, particularly in this third quarter. And the other thing is they're not moving the ball from the stoppages, but they're getting a lot of drive and attack from half back.
First time in 66 minutes that Collingwood have not been in front.
Stanton, Lonigan, Monfries, these sort of players who had quiet first half, certainly getting more involved in the second half.
Stanton got the free. It was against Welligan. Kicks it down towards half forward. Buckley grabs it. Kicks back towards the wing. Lonigan again in the action. Penetrating kick. Deep into attack. Keith could have almost got a free. There's a late whistle. This will be interesting.
It's against Essendon.
It's against Essendon, but did the Essendon players know that? If they did, they bought a fair bit of time, I tell you what.
He's been good, Keith. He keeps playing in front, and Ryder's continually behind.
Buckley.
A lot of players out of the own here.
All Collingwood in front of the Great Southern Stand. Swan to Johnson. Johnson runs beyond the wing, goes inside the forward 50. Well, not quite. Cloak, a step or two outside, has got the football. This afternoon he's booted 3 goals. Long kick from behind. Hardingham loves that situation. Punches cleverly, gets it deep in the pocket. In goes Sinclair, bowled over by Stanton. Stanton in turn was taken down by Blair. Out of defence, Lonigan sends the ball towards the outer side wing. Hocking has it. Smothered off the boot out of bounds.
Got to say, it shows you how loud it must be down there. When Essendon thought they kicked a goal, the whole team actually stopped, whereas Collingwood were able to get free because they saw what was unfolding as opposed to celebrating the goal. It must be electrifying down there.
Jolly Bell-Chambers. So Ryder's had a run in the ruck. Bell-Chambers' turn again. Pendlebury tries to crash through. Swan, well done. Put his backside in and got the footy forward. Hooker, juggled mark to Wellingham, has got paid though. And then Wellingham off a step, doors closing, couldn't quite hold it. Not easy today, boundary throwing.
Well, Essendon have been advantaged when the game has sort of settled down in a way into just even numbers at either end, in either forward line. Seems to suit them better.
Bell-Chambers with a tap, Swan running through and kicks his third. He's kicked 2 from that end, Swan. In fact, all his 3 goals, but 2 similarly to that were the first goal in the opening term. And, well, he hasn't had an Anzac medal. In fact, he's only had 1 Brownlow vote, Swanee, in the 7 Anzac Day matches he's played. But right now, he's the best man on the ground. He's had 29 disposals and kicks 3 goals.
You don't often see this. Look at Swan. He just wrestles his way clear. Basically just read Bell Chambers' hand, but you don't very often run off the pack into an open goal like that.
First time in his career he's booted 3 against the Bombers. Couldn't have come at a better time, that third one. Down goes Stanton. Trying to get it out of there. Watson off the ground. Howlett towards half-forward. Brilliant pick up Zaharakis. Back to Howlett. Kicks with the outside of the boot. Wanders inside the forward 50. Punched away by Brown. Roving the pack outside the 50. Watson. With the skipper's hand pass charged down by Pendlebury. Tuvey. There he is again. Swan. The solo. Backs off a would-be tackler.
Well, that's a 50-metre.
50 metres.
That was against Stanton, who held on to Swan to get the receive, which is the 50-metre penalty. Very short 50 metres, I must say, though.
Absolutely.
He's still going. He's still going.
Alex.
Unfinished.
Yes, that's holding on to the tackle there so that Swan can't get involved in the next passage of play. That's the 50.
Just got a feeling that Swan has got inside Stanton's head a moment ago when he got free at that bounce about 20 metres out. Stanton was back on his heels when Swan broke. This ball hits the behind post, so out of bounds on the full. Young West Australian Kirk Ugle. What a day to make your debut, eh?
Sitting and wondering when he'll get that chance. Of course, the Bombers activated their sub DeLulio in the opening term for Hibbert, who had the hamstring problem. Lonigan. Heppel gets a bit smothered. For Solo, running hard and hooking. So that one behind. Such a critical stage in the match. Essendon have made some good inroads, but Collingwood maintained the edge. Essendon have only actually eroded 5 points from that half-time lead. Dyson settling in the back half now. Just a long ball forward. There's DeLulio, good give. Davey, very short, not sure about that. O'Brien just worked Monfries under it. Brown, and Brown had time. Collingwood get out of this, I think. DeLulio over the top. Just the Davey kick was too short.
Yeah, it was. You could see that he wanted to reward Monfries and make Harry O'Brien accountable, but better off getting it over the top. That's where they've been most dangerous, Essendon, putting it over out, getting the small forwards turn, go, run towards goal.
Vast crowd. And the very cloudy skies now. Side bottom. Couldn't control it. Lonigan inside the forward 50, deep inside the forward 50, and Carlisle takes the mark.
It's their first mark inside the forward 50. That's been a real strength of theirs so far this year.
Is that the first for the day?
For the day.
Yeah. He's just played in front all day, Keith, and that the odds are for the player in front. That one just drifted over his head.
Jake Carlisle then. Some big boots to fill this afternoon. Michael Hurley out of the side. Carlisle the one inclusion. No kick more important than this one, and he misses to the near side. They're down by a goal. 56 plays 50, 7 minutes out from three-quarter time. Johnson.
It's been a great quarter. It's a terrific first half, but this has been the quarter of the match. That one just eludes Dyson. Jolly, well done to Blair. He's got Jolly again. Now Wellingham running, but Jolly's smothered. Jolly had outriders. Essendon get a turnover. Howlett, Watson's had a brilliant third quarter. Jetta, we've talked a lot about him, not high stats, but big influence. Now Davies at the back. Can the ball come over the back? Not quite. Cranberry. Now DeLulio off the ground. O'Brien tracking back, hitting the point post, boundary throw in.
Just a little bit of inexperience, just rushed himself. He should have probably tried to pick the ball up. This was just pinballing backwards and forwards.
That'll hurt. Cold, wet ball to the snout.
Thrown in beside the behind post then. Jolly does well. Took clean possession. Stanton. Can he repay the favour? No. To the other end. Dane Swan got his third goal. Just peeling off exactly like that. That one out of bounds on the full. Pendlebury sends it back close to the boundary line. Cloak was up, couldn't hang on, falls behind. Carlisle had one go at it, butters up again. Ball spills back towards the boundary. Head down, Melksham. Well, he had the courage to go down low. Plays on immediately. Long ball towards full forward. Buckley needs to fly. Did got a timely fist in there. Tuvey taken high. He'll get the free kick.
I like the wheel and go there by Melksham. Just get it back. Just Hear the explanation for the free kick. Just continually put the Collingwood defenders under pressure.
Probably should just drop the ball maybe 15 metres out rather than 5 metres out. It just is a much more dangerous spot.
It's a 2v2 one-on-one. Milsham just couldn't quite hold a boundary throw in. So who gets the next goal? Massive, isn't it? I mean, if Collingwood can lead by 2, all square, what a difference. Day where goals have become easier in the third quarter, but still a low-scoring match. Ryder almost out of the air. Jolly's been really good in this third term. Beams to side bottom to Cloak. So Cloak with 3 goals and Swan with 3. So 6 of the 8 from those 2 champions. Beams having a wonderful match. Long ball to Dawes for Solo. The big fly. But Collingwood quickly transfer the ball from one end to the other.
And speaking of Swan, he's lurked all the way down the broadcast side wing. And I don't reckon an Essendon player's realised he's there. He could go into this contest unopposed.
4 days break and it's going end to end at the moment. Tossed in. Backhanded down by Jolly. Watson steps a would-be tackler. Comes out of the packet. Miscues though. On the wing, opportunity there for Maxwell. Ricochets across towards Tuvey. Back inside the 50, barely. Opportunity for Clark. Gets the hand pass off. Tuvey follows up, sends it down towards full forward and Jolly. Well, if ever a bloke deserved a goal, he's been tireless.
Well, he's just chasing Ryder around for the last few minutes. There's been a few stoppages around the field and he's just had to run 50 metres to get there. And I think Ryder's trying to bring the ball out. He's bottom of screen. Jolly took the punt and went forward.
Generally very good at kicking a goal. He's done it for Melbourne, Sydney and Collingwood. So, breathing space again. They're up by 12. But he's showing a bit of wear and tear, the big guy. He's been double teamed for the best part of the afternoon. Belchambers started really well. He reeled him in. And now he's going against Paddy Ryder. Just for the moment, Dawes is giving him a spell, but he's got a lot more to do if Collingwood are going to win this game. Big half. Darren Jolly. Margin, as you can see.
Darren Jolly pushing forward now, resting forward again. We've got the Dawes Ryder combination in the middle of the ground.
Works very good, Jolly, hasn't he, today? I mean, he got killed in the ruck against Carlton a couple of weeks ago, but today he's been really good.
Ryder wins the tap. G. Hocking held on to no free kick. Ball spills out. Dyson onto his natural left. Gets the ball inside 50. O'Brien read it better than Monfries. He was manhandled. Monfries to Lulio. Couldn't break the tackle. Johnson kicks the ball back to the centre. Well read by Hardingham. So in this quarter, it's 4 goals, 2 apiece. Essendon got the first 2, Collingwood the next 2, Essendon the next 2, and Collingwood the last 2. So it's been little spurts, hasn't it? Here's Zaharakis, who got the first of those 8 goals in this quarter. Kicks the ball to the forward line. And Daniel Tim.
Just been watching Ugle, and we know that Essendon used their sub very early in the game, and he's just been running up and down in front of us here. You can see him on screen now, and he's got plenty of spring in his legs. I reckon that's going to be a factor in this last quarter.
Boundary throw in. Dawes wins it down. Pendlebury. Johnson. Relentless stuff. Johnson out of defence. Pears gathers it nicely. Taken front on by Sinclair. Given a bit of time. Zaharakis hard against the boundary line. Dawes in best position. Hands to it. Couldn't take the mark. Over the football rider. Digs it out. Stanton now. Pulls it back towards the kick-off line. Pressure on Harry. It appeared to be a push in the back. Umpire lets them play. Away comes Buckley to open space. Keith is at right half back. Belchambers coming on the angle, but not in time. Nice kick from Keith. Goldsack's got it just forward of the centre wing. Goldsack. Bombers have got the numbers back. Side bottom, who started so well. In fact, he's played well all afternoon. Wellingham, who started slowly. Hard against the boundary line. Dawes has covered a lot of ground. Gave a contest. Well done by the Bombers. Pears. Heppel liked his game. Goes to the outer side wing. Too much carry? No. Carlisle did well. Coming in one direction. Keith Carlisle took a look, but only to assess what space he had. Monfries.
Gee, Hardingham had 2 man-eaters behind him in Dawes and Cloak. That was just massive for Essendon. That was almost a give-me for Collingwood, but he was able to make a contest. Delulio, Maxwell, the captain's a real general back there. Down the line. Wellingham did well. To Johnson, it opens up again. To Beams, still with Beams. Looking up, he's got the short one on. Swan's been magnificent. I'm not sure if he's played a better game in a big match than this.
Yeah, been fantastic.
Just haven't had an answer for Swan at all, the Bombers.
Goes short. Missed by Goldsack. Dyson eludes. Short to Heppel. Can they conjure a way to get a goal? They sort of need it, you feel, Essendon.
They were running for him, though. That's when the fatigue sets in. And Essendon players should be running into space for Heppel, but they're too tired to get there.
Torpedoes the ball forward. O'Brien and Monfrey's in that sort of wrestling match. That ball comes out to Wellingham. Jetta runs him down. Got a bad bounce side bottom. Dyson, that natural left foot. Short. Cranley's had a quiet one. Side bottom. Tried to wait it. Couldn't quite. Side bottom well played. Heppel well done. In a contest again. Swan and Heppel. That'll be interesting. Through the legs of Heppel. Wellingham gains a couple of metres. And Collingwood are holding on down to Richo.
Well, you just mentioned Cranley and not having a great game. That's the difference between suddenly having the #1 defender on you and not the #2. Hurley out, all of the pressure goes onto him and he's got a lot more responsibility. A lot harder, he gets that extra defender on him.
When it comes to games on Anzac Day, this one's from the top shelf so far. Behind the pack, Lonigan got it from Ryder over the top. Zaharakis about 80 metres from goal, sends it long. In front, knocked down by Maxwell. Who's got the football? Harry has for the moment. Monfrey's got him. Comes back to the skipper for Collingwood. Maxwell throws it on the boot. Now Sinclair. He's at left half back. The long kick to Blair is on. Blair cuts the angle. Coming up was Goldsack between the pair of them. They still controlled the football. Dawes goes back to Blair. Off the ground by Dawes. Inside the forward 50 will almost. Seedsman is taken to ground. Holding the ball, or more particularly, holding the ball. Incorrect disposal.
Great decision there. Really well played by Paddy Ryder. We'll get a good look at it here. And just places the ball down. Pin the one arm. That's terrific.
So that's a mongrel kick by Ryder to centre wing with the numbers. Hocking inboard. Zaharakis to Watson. Sweeping handball. And that won't be a score. Have a look at the kick by Jetta going long, but it's a behind. So it's the same margin as half-time. What a great quarter it was, though. Essendon 8 into the lead. They got level. Collingwood withstood the challenge. Swan brilliant all day, particularly in that term. So three-quarter time here on Anzac Day before almost a full house. Collingwood lead Essendon by 12 points.
Outside the centre square, each in a really pure game of footy.
First goal vital. You'd say that Essendon have got to kick 5 to win at a minimum. Swan bangs it out of the centre. Gets it long. Hardingham's underneath. Oh, geez. He takes a risk, doesn't he? But it's a good mark.
Dry ball from the new quarter.
Off a step. Now, Stanton the target. Gee, went very early, Stanton. No free kick given.
In trouble if we can't get it clear.
Brown was in a bit of a wrestle. Zaharakis thought he was terrific in that quarter. Stanton runs into traffic. Gets rid of the ball. Pendlebury well done to Beams. Gets it to Seedsman. Well, there's confidence. A running bounce and gets good distance and kicks right to the top of the goal square. Sinclair was trying to do the roving. Essendon got to make sure the ball comes out. Hits the behind post.
Just in that last contest, you saw a bit of a difference between Stanton and Pendlebury. Stanton got tackled, went to ground. Pendlebury on the opposite occasion stood up in the tackle, gave the handball out.
Thrown in, Jolly in front, knocks it down, comes back to Jolly. Second go at it, tried to knock it to Clark. Eventually, though, the pressure came from the Bombers. Across to Dyson. He got it from Hocking. Beams! Beams has snapped and he's put it through. All it took was a half chance. That ball was bouncing around in there. Beams, eyes only for the footy, went down low, found it, and snapped the goal. So the perfect start. They kick away by 18, and from memory, that's been their biggest margin of the day. So they equal it now to start the final term. And James Hird, who's owned Anzac Day as a player, suddenly has a problem.
They couldn't clear the ball, Essendon. They had a lot of players touch it, couldn't get the disposal. And As we often say, the attacking side gets a kick out at 15 metres out in front. Easy goal.
Well, Mickey Malthouse talked about Beams part of the match and sits not many big matches and big days, but he's had 28 today and kicked a goal.
They're standing again being claimed, Tommy. He just can't break clear of the Collingwood pressure at all.
And stoppages in the forward half for Collingwood. They've been very good. I think of Swan with a couple, and now Beams. Swan again. Well, they need the next, don't they, the Bombers? Dyson forward. Ball gets past Cranley. Davey kicks forward to Ryder. Think he needs to have a big last quarter. Rolling ball, running away from behind. It was going to be covered anyway, had it straightened up. Maxwell was back there. What can Ryder do in the last quarter? Could he be the man to bring them back?
I'd like to see him playing in the ruck and see if he can be a bit of a link man ruckman. So not so much the ruck work, but actually he can be the extra midfield runner that Essendon need to try and break it up.
Shouldn't underestimate what Clark did early in this match.
Drives it towards the outer side. Jolly was out, forced to Sinclair. Floats one close to the boundary. Well judged by Fletcher. Out of defence there moments ago. Swan had his 34th possession. There's Lonigan. Controversial week. Forward of the wing. Sends it inside the 50. Going back is Clark. Did well, made it a tight pack. Stanton knocks it out. Jetta to his own advantage. Can't pick it up the first time. Counted towards the line. Play goes on. Another ball rolls back on itself and goes out of bounds.
A couple of things. I'd like to see Hocking perhaps go to Swan instead of Pendlebury, because Pendlebury's not impacting the scoreboard as much as Swan is. And also, I wouldn't mind seeing Jetta around the ball, providing a bit of spark, and that means up the ground also, not just inside the forward 50.
Swan only as far as Lonigan. Lonigan snaps. Back goes Buckley and right on the line. Tapped it across.
Not the first time Buckley saved the day for Collingwood, eh?
No.
Gee, it was a good kick by Lonigan. Those hard-nosed Essendon players have got to have big last quarters, don't they? Almost feel like everything has to go right for Essendon from this point on. Carlisle went early. Tim and Richo, you're down there. I mean, Tim, give us just an Essendon point of view for 1 second. What has to happen?
Well, they're just got to start getting more ball around the stoppages and the clearances. I mean, really, they've lowered their colours today to Collingwood. They haven't generated enough play. Sammy Lonigan, who just got the ball in, has probably been their best player around the stoppages.
Battling hard, and Matthew could have the Collingwood hat on for the moment. I mean, do you feel like they're in a winning? I mean, they're in a winning position. Are they home or not?
No, not yet. I think if they get another goal, they would feel that they are with the conditions the way they are, and a number probably then put behind the ball. And this man here, he's been absolutely outstanding, Dane Swan. His third quarter was probably the difference. 13 possessions and 2 goals. Maintained that distance from half-time. He's been outstanding.
23 and 13, that's a big day's work in that start of the last quarter.
Boundary throw in. Fell at their feet. Blair, been handy. Tuvey steps out of trouble. Well done. Sends it down towards half forward. Hooker stayed off. Brilliant pickup by Dyson. Dyson's tried hard. He sends it up towards the wing. Jetta confronted. Got past Tuvey. 3 to beat. Still he battles on. Well done, Jetta. Knocking the ball forward. Stanton. The ball goes out of bounds.
He's had really good energy in the game, all game, I think, Lewis Jetta. I'm not sure what his endurance pace is like, but if he's got that capacity in him to run through the midfield, he might be a player who can provide some spark for the Bombers.
Jolly.
Hi, Bill Chambers. That's right. Now, Darren.
Now where he's got to go in quick. Just take the punt. Sometimes just got to go in.
Play on.
Well, Dyson's a pretty long kick normally. He looks up, he goes to a bit of space actually. Ryder will be first there. Can he keep the ball in? The handball to Hocking. Hocking a left footer. Belts it back to centre half forward. Oh, good hands to Lulio.
It's a great mark.
It was good hands. It's a great thing about this ground. As soon as it stops raining, 10 minutes later it's dry.
Yeah.
And it's now a dry ball after being raining at various patches.
Not sure how many kicks this young man's had. He only played last week and, of course, started as a sub today. He's a 22-year-old in his second game only.
It's hard to be pounding.
Well, this is massive.
Really fast.
It's straight. He's done it. They're within 2 kicks. Game on. Well, I'm not sure, Dennis, if it's technique or temperament. One of the T's, but it is a test of a man 35 metres out when you haven't played a lot, and you know that the result is so important, and well done. He kept it in
Yeah, I think the temperament and the technique weren't bad, but mind you, it was a bit of a wobbler, that kick. It wasn't his best effort.
You can see there Ugel's about to make his debut. He's been running up and down here, so he's nice and warm, and Seedsman's been subbed out of the game, so they've now got that fresh set of legs out there, Collingwood.
And one thing about that fresh set of legs, they're very quick. Here's Hocking out of the middle. Drives it inside the forward 50. Falls in front of the pack. O'Brien controlled it nicely to the advantage of Maxwell. Maxwell enjoys the run, drives it towards the outer side wing. Once again, we saw Fletcher do well, but with the recovery, it's Goldsack who gets it on the ground. How many times has that happened? The short pass to the lead-up man for Collingwood, just a couple of metres short. Pears gives it across towards Fletcher, picked up by Ugle to Beams. Beams inside the forward 50, going back as Hooker, coming through as Hardingham, and the ball spills out of bounds. Well, if you like redemption, I think Dane Beams is your man. Disappointing preliminary final, dropped for the grand final, and this afternoon is having a terrific day. 29 possessions in a big game.
G. Blair almost, and then well done to Goldsack. Denied a goal in the third quarter. Bouncing away from the goal. Can Hooker get it over the line? Jolly. Down low again was Ugle, I think, the new kid. And he's held up and a ball up. Just a quick one on Ugle. He lost his dad as a 15-year-old. He's a father. And his one ambition, Mick Moldhouse told me, he'll be the first person in his family to own his own house. I mean, this is a massive day for the kid. It really is. The ball coming out wide. Outside the 50. Maxwell right in the bump. Doing well. Held up Tuvey. Well done by Sidebottom. Gets it back to Maxwell. Maxwell back inside 50. Helpful front spot. Couldn't quite. Little give. Ugle with a little roly-poly towards the goals. Goldsack down low. Blair for Solo. It was stolen. A pickpocket. Who is it? Don't know who to charge right now.
Ball bounces just inside the boundary. Cramry deep in defence. Melksham taken on by Johnson, touched off the boot. Pendlebury did well, released the ball immediately. It came to him. Blair again. Tuvey inside the forward 50. Goldsack hung back initially, slapped out of defence down there by Essendon. All hands on deck now for the Bombers. Johnson swings it back across the body. Following up, Dawes, or was it Jolly? It was Jolly in there, the tall target. Beams trying to trap it. Jolly comes to his assistance, tries to walk it out of there, dragging about 3 Bombers behind him, ball up.
It's exhausting footy, that sort of stuff, to repeat inside 50s. Here's the steal here.
It's Hardingham and Stanton.
Had a bad day, Stanton, but that was a good piece of play.
It's where Collingwood have been dangerous all day in these stoppages for. Where's Swan? He'd be absolutely close to him right now if he's there.
Face the footy!
A massive moment for Essendon. They feel they've got a hold here. Goldsack held up by Fletcher.
Just need to be aware of the player on the burst here, the Bombers. On that occasion, it was Blair going forward. They need to have man-on-man everywhere, but ensure that the goal face is covered.
Almost got to try and force it behind to get the ball in their hands. And that one still in. Well done, Johnson. Pendlebury whipped away. Sidebottom, Johnson. Couldn't quite get clear. He was clever. And that ball's still very much in dispute. Toe poke's a good result for the Bombers. They get it outside the 50.
It's totally just getting it out of your area, isn't it? There is that many bodies in these back 50s for both sides. Just have to clear it best you can.
Been a big duel after half-time, Monfries and O'Brien.
Ryder from behind knocks it down. Zaharakis, nicely done. Emerges with the footy, sends it back towards the wing from behind Maxwell. Ball virtually fell at their feet. Tuvey the first to arrive, goes to half-forward Dawes, releases Sidebottom. Sidebottom puts it to space. Storming up the ground is Cloak. Not so good for a left foot at this spot. Cloak goes back towards the boundary. Around the corner, awkward bouncing ball for Fasolo. Well done, Wellingham. Fasolo likes this ball better. Hooks and just misses.
Dane Swan just came back onto the ground. He actually had a long break for him. He had 4 minutes off the ground. He normally is on and off cricket, and that I reckon he's reloaded, ready to go.
So Heppel, Melksham, Fasolo. It's kicked a couple of behinds. Clever stuff. There is Swan to Sinclair, an unlikely hero. Yes, misses. Well, You feel in the last 5 minutes, Collingwood could almost have buried Essendon. They haven't done it. Will they pay the penalty?
Repeat inside 50s, just holding the ball in there. This exhausts the Essendon defenders. Just required to give repeat efforts.
They're proving harder to bury than James Brown, Bruce. As the ball goes towards the outer side, it's marked out there by Ryder. The Bombers have been gallant today, as I said before. I think their game on Saturday, very much tougher physically, more energy sapping than what Collingwood had. Just watching Melksham chase that football down in the pocket moments ago. He was a man who was virtually out in his legs. We've got a boundary throw in on the wing.
He's led the back line fantastic, really well, Maxwell.
Very high. Ryder, Willingham, high ball down towards half forward. Hardingham was up, couldn't complete the mark. Pearce goes after it. Fasolo came at him, wins the loose ball for Solo, shrugs the tackle, beats a would-be tackler, goes to Ugle. Ugle drives it long down towards full forward. Don't tell me Swan. Well, two masters of their craft there. Swan darting into the forward line with 3 goals alongside his name, and the veteran in his 20th season coming back. And on that occasion, at least, the taller man prevailed.
It's two of their favourite spots on the footy ground, isn't it, those two? Fletcher, dangerous kick if it comes off, it'll work big time. It hasn't. Side bottom to Beams, two of the very good players today. Wide, Hardingham went early. Goldsack, it's been combative, Goldsack, he's been handy. Big ball back in. Swan's there with Fletcher again, and Cloak, it ripples off him, and getting back Jetta.
Peppering inside 50s now. That's 7 out of 8. They'll go again, I reckon. Fletcher straight down the middle. They've got to be brave, be bold with their ball use.
They're not running well enough to take it out wide, are they? They've almost got to take the punt down the middle.
Shortest avenue to goal.
Well, it's worked so far. They've got it to Watson, a centre half back. Next kick important. Worked it okay. Hocking, can he get the quick ball on?
Hocking alongside the centre circle, sends it long over the mark. The smallest man on the ground bodied out his opponent and falling to the deck. He claimed it. Wonderful stuff by Davey.
He's had a few practices of that during the game where he's been behind Tuvey, just tried to lean on him to see if the ball come over the back. Did it well.
A lot of talk about the spirit of Anzac Day. Well, both these sides have done the legend proud. Neither will go away. Davey puts it through his second.
Well, he's had a reasonable day now, Davey. I mean, he's kicked 2 goals. I mean, he's made a few blues. They needed something like that, out of the ordinary, to get a goal. I mean, Collingwood had been, inside their forward 50 for, 7 or 8 minutes, I reckon. They peppered the goal. And suddenly you've got our scoreboard, and it's really is game on. I mean, this is tight now. Every centre clearance becomes vital. Not sure how many more we're going to have.
In the games, Collingwood have got the 2 or 3 goals in front. Essendon have wound them back. That's been really how the game's gone for most of the match.
So who gets the break here? Collingwood by 8 points. Ryder up high. Monfries had looked high the tackle.
The challenge for Essendon is they've spent so much energy just getting to. I don't think they've actually got in front at this stage. They've got to level. Just need to get the next one on top. But
and they have to keep Ryder in the ruck. They have to roll the dice and hope that Ryder can be that extra midfielder for them.
Essendon led early in the first quarter, Tom. Stanton's long ball on, but that's a long, long time ago. Out wide, Bell Chambers. Carlisle's left foot bouncing, and they get within 7 points.
A bouncy, fresh Ryder against a tiring Jolly. That's where Essendon's main hope, I would have thought, in this last quarter.
Johnson comes looking for his captain. Maxwell stayed on his feet. Feeds it forward. Ugle gives it to Buckley. Ugle went on and played a good shepherd. Buckley, a rather ungainly bounce for Solo. He's forward of the wing. He goes down towards the attacking 50. Touch played on's the call. Off hands, out of bounds. 30 metres around from that right-hand behind post. City end. Lights have been on for a long time at the MCG. It's a very gloomy evening. Off the ground by Hardingham. Towards the wing. It'll go against Brown. Very tough call. Brown marked the footy.
You tell him to take the punt and go in. You've got an open forward line. You've got to go in quick. That allowed the extra Collingwood player to get back and intercept the forwards. You can sort of take the bit between the teeth sometimes. You can kick the ball in deep into the 50 under pressure. Someone's just got to do it.
Pendlebury, Bell Chambers.
Like now, just go. Just wheel and go. Just kick it over Johnson.
No one's running for him, is he?
No.
Everyone's too tired to run the space now.
So just sets it up. He had a couple of shorts in the centre, but Jolly filled the pack. That's a terrible result for Essendon. Not sure if it's tiredness or just, can I say, laziness, because I had to get someone to work, and Maxwell wants the boundary line. This will be interesting, but he had Blair out there, so boundary throw-in.
I think the problem was Bell Chambers was kicking the footy when he needed to. You wanted him to be on the end of that long kick, dude.
What a turnout. Nearly 87,000 on a morning like it was today. It's a fantastic result. That's off the ground on the field. Just for the record, it's the 12th biggest crowd between these two teams in a home and away, and that's the 24th all up. So these two teams have had half of the 24 biggest crowds between them. Admittedly, they do play on this day, which helps.
7 points the margin. Just over 7 minutes to go. Dyson, well done by Sinclair, threw himself across the boot. Dyson fights back close to the boundary line. Eventually gets his kick off, but straight across the boundary.
The unsung hero in all of that was Dane Swan. When Essendon tried to bring the ball back in before the time, it was Jetta. Dane Swan came from 30 metres up to nullify that option, and then we saw the end result, kicking to the man on the mark. Great defensive work from Swan. Swan
earned the kick as well, went short to Pendlebury, the side bottom. 3 of their best right there in that triangulation. Ryan's the cool, side bottom, measures the options and goes all the way back to O'Brien. O'Brien across the ground. Johnson, not sure he can give it to Keith. Keith's got a bit of separation. He'll get it now. Keith jams it about 25 metres further afield, and Brown.
Essendon did pretty well to come across with the ball, so Collingwood have changed direction, but couldn't keep it flowing.
They consumed about 40 seconds in this movement. Back it goes to side bottom. Now they take off. Clark on the wing. Sends one inside the forward 50. Coming up as Cloak. Had it bounce off his chest. Across the face of the pack. Ghosting in was Swan. Upended as he kicked. Dyson hand passes to Pearce to Monfries. Monfries on the kickoff line. Run down by Goldsack. Wonderful stuff, Goldsack. And the ball bounces out of bounds.
Gee, was that 1/2 more step, he might well have got the tackle and the holding the ball.
Irrespective of the outcome of the game, do you think Swan's got the Anzac Day medal?
Yeah.
It'll be hard to go past him.
Even if Essendon win?
Yep.
Yep. So Pendlebury has won the last couple. Dawes heard the umpies call. Gee, Wellingham's kick floating. Oh, Cloak almost. Was it Cloak or Dawes? It was Cloak. And a behind.
Again, Collingwood have to be covering the middle, because Essendon, I think, know that you can't go by the Cape. You've really got to go down the middle to get any penetration into your forward line.
So Fletcher wants to get it as far as he possibly can. Pendlebury was the flyer. Bell Chambers roving it. Handball was tough for Zaharakis. Pendlebury got in there, and that's a disputed ball and the ball up. On a normal day, Pendlebury might have won a third Anzac, but gee, Swanee, eh?
You look at Swan's numbers, 39
fantastic.
possessions, 18 contested, 11 clearances, 6 tackles, 3 goals. Easily best on ground.
Willingham's kick marked by Watson. Could be a twist in the tail yet. These Bombers have been so gallant, so good. Zaharakis kicks it inside the forward 50. Stanton, can he become an unlikely hero? Not with that kick. Still inside the field of play, reaching over the top of Cramery, knocked out by Brown. And we're down to 5.5 minutes now.
Not a bad result. This is to go to the teeth of the goal, so a good opportunity here for the Bombers. Just get on the move.
Jim's daughter turns 13 today. She was born on Anzac Day 1999. Lonergan runs into an open goal and misses.
Such a dangerous throw in there when it's on the point post, because it does come straight to the teeth of the goal, and it opened up perfectly.
That was a sitter, wasn't it? He got the run, got the fly.
They're the goals that Swanee's been kicking today, aren't they? So Zaharakis there is a good kick, Zaharakis, and he's a good decision maker.
Just got to get it to the dangerous spot, because it's very hard to set it up.
Worked underneath, and Delulio just couldn't get a handle. I wonder if Cranberry could do something late. I mean, he was worked underneath then.
It's an individual effort or two, is it? Like Lonigan all created the opportunity but missed the goal. Can someone do something special around this stoppage?
So Dawes and Bell-Chambers. Watson can't quite get the kick, but he did get it forward. Buckley okay, smothered. Hocking, little give. Delulio hasn't got the distance. And it's a one-goal game. It's a kick in it. We have had a draw in this match, haven't we, Lee?
We have had.
And the penny has just dropped for the crowd too. That sigh that goes around, that murmur.
This is discipline required here.
They're very uncomfortable.
They're going to go wide.
Johnson to himself. 73-67. Over 4 minutes still remain in this game. That's an eternity. Side bottom is in there. Shovels it out. Pendlebury tireless. Blair taken down. Well done, Melksham. Jetta does well. Got it to Hocking. Slick hand pass to Dyson. Dyson kept it going. Howlett just hand passes for distance. Lonigan inside the kick from Hocking. Davies waiting. It won't come down. Eventually it does. About 3 steps before Keith got to him.
Great work around just outside the 50 and ability to just keep battering away. It wasn't pretty, but got the repeat inside 50.
Fantastic by the Bombers. Davey comes in, gets the goal, scores a level at the G.
Well, he kicked 3 in his first Anzac Day. He's kicked 3 today. We were looking for something. Who was going to do the little bit extra? Who could provide the spark? Well, Davey took a fantastic mark early in this quarter. That one, well, he was just in the right spot at the right time. But
Lonigan's been good. I think he's provided some real pressure around the footy.
Probably not the play you think would take the mark in the goal screen, would you? Little Alan Davies, but he's good. His speed and pressure, he and Jetta have been really important for most of the game.
so all square grandstand finish. Swan building the ball forward. Sinclair waits and eludes, and Sinclair goes bang. And Collingwood are in front. He's had 2 shots in the last quarter, Sinclair. He turned Fletcher inside out.
Got to be brave here. The Bombers not only putting their head over the ball, but actually attacking the dangerous parts of the ground. Can't afford to play safe. Be bold, be brave.
Well, historically, Essendon have won the close ones on this day, save for that draw, that very first one. Collingwood has led for over 100 minutes in this match, Essendon for just 6. Collingwood back in front, standing at half-back.
Drives it long beyond the wing. It's 2-on-1. Tuvey in front, working behind. The big guy couldn't do very much with that. It's close to the boundary line. Jolly comes again, though, with that ample frame. Got the ball up. So, if in fact Essendon win, does Swan still get the Anzac Day medal? Very hard to find a dominant Bomber player. It seems all the good players are on the Collingwood side of things, and yet they lead by a point. Remarkable. Watson thumps it about 20 metres with dash. Zaharakis on a collision course there with Maxwell, pushed across the line by Melksham, and a boundary throw in.
They're just getting a little bit more speed around the stoppages this last 5 minutes, Essendon.
How helpless do you feel at this stage in the box?
Oh, no, you're basically just a spectator now.
Wellingham caught up. Howlett through his fingers. Swan gains some meterage and a little bit of time. Dawes runs it over. So it's 74-73. It's 10 goals 14 to 10 goals 13. That was the score in 1966 when St Kilda beat Collingwood. It's one of the most famous score lines in AFL history. Or Aussie rules, I should say. Very much a VFL game in those days. St Kilda's one and only, eh? But this is a different day. What a contest. And a boundary throw-in.
Got a feel for the confidence of the young player. Delulio just took the ball in the one hand. He knows his own abilities. Alan Davies coming on. Got to get on the burst, get moving.
Boundary throw in then. Jolly hooks it down into the path of Hocking. He kicked it a little prematurely. Upwards Maxwell. Couldn't complete the mark. It falls to Wellingham. Tackled immediately by Cramry. He's a strong man, Cramry. Got him down. Watson tries to dig it out of the pack. Wanting it at close quarters. Howlett was upended. It comes to Ryder. Ryder the high ball. How will it bounce? The wrong way? Well, the right way as it turned out for the Bombers. Carlisle, Stanton, the unlikeliest of heroes today.
There's a great saying in footy, it can't always be a day, but it can be a moment. And Brett Stan's had a tough sort of day, Lee, but gets an opportunity with 2 minutes to go, has to make the most of it.
But he's really, you can see he's kept going. When you're having a bad day, it's easy to emotionally really get down in the dumps. And one thing about Stanton, he runs as hard as any player in the competition, and he was the extra number that come from upfield to get in there to support that bad bounce that got Carlisle that first possession. Tell you what, Ryder's been good in the ruck too. I mean, just that extra energy late in the game is just providing a little bit extra around the stoppage area for Essendon.
Haven't been in front since the 12-minute mark of the first quarter. They are now. Collingwood need a goal. Pendlebury out of the centre towards half forward. Newgall's been good. Side bottom smother important. Quick kick forward by Maxwell. Who's underneath it? Fletcher couldn't get a hand on it. Cloak's there. Well played by Carlisle in the back, or rather Hooper in the back half. Out wide, Collingwood with the numbers. Pendlebury's good at thinking his way through things. Left foot, and Essendon couldn't quite get to it. Sinclair's been bubbly late, hasn't he? How far does he go in with the kick to full forward? Cloak, not quite. Blair, Collingwood back in front.
Whistle score. Check. The ball came off the boot. Yeah. Come off under the knee. Okay.
Review underway.
Thank you. Did you see him get a kick? Yeah. Definitely got a kick? Okay, thanks. All right. All right. What'd you see, mate? Okay. Buzz? Below the knee? Okay, thanks. Buzz is seeing the kick, so what the review thinks.
Yeah.
Review completed. Confirm goal.
Who said the review can be exciting?
Oh, I reckon they are exciting, to be honest. I mean, people sort of worry about the game being held up for 30 seconds, but I think it adds enormous tension to the game while it's being verified exactly what happened.
I was just thinking when the Bombers hit the front, there was another review that would have been dissected and slow-mo. Well, still could happen. Collingwood in that third term denied a goal.
Ryder, Hocking, Watson, Stanton. That's the best ball they've got, the Bombers.
I reckon this centre-bounce clearance is important. They're trying to play the numbers back, Collingwood.
Jolly, Wellingham, Pendlebury, Swan. The 8 best midfielders in the Sioux circles at the moment.
Essendon had the run. Blair stopped them in their tracks. Ryder, though, has other ideas. Down towards half forward. Just over a minute to go. Davies tackled. Umpire will ball it up. So it's now or never. If they can control the footy from here, Collingwood, they could run it out. James Hird leans forward in the chair. The hot seat. Davey down towards full forward. Cranberry almost staggers after the football. Blair was waiting. Loose ball. Spills behind to Hocking. Hocking to Heppel. O'Brien grabs it, kicks it in the one motion. Tracking it back is Hardingham. 50 seconds. Hardingham centering kick. And Newgall takes the mark.
You're going to take the punt. That's fair enough from Hardingham, but as soon as it's turned over, well, now it's only a matter whether...
So the advantage given. Watson kicks the ball forward. Jetta, it will go out, not quite. Still in. Cranberry, can he get it back? He's a strong man. He throws it out. Collingwood hack it out. How long to go? Well, it's 20 seconds. And the man of the match, the Anzac Neglis, has the last say.
And the runners will be out there making sure Swan knows it's the countdown from 20 seconds.
42nd possession for Swan.
It was long down the line.
The champion of the day will have the final say as he kicks the ball down the line. What a game. What a win. Closest margin ever but for the draw. Collingwood win by a point on Anzac Day.